What a great way to start another episode of this series. Come on, we all know why this LEIA is one of the highest. I don't even need to explain. It's because of her eyes. Carrie Fisher has great eyes and it really shows with this outfit. It's all I look at when I see her. Of course, her eyes are barely detailed in this game since she's in Lego form. It's kind of disappointing if you ask me. The eyes are the only thing anyone would look at with this outfit in general. They'd stare at those eyes even. Jabba made the right decision choosing her as his slave. Well, I guess she was the only person in the palace that could have been the slave. Everyone else was like revolting. Unless Jabba wanted blind Han to be a slave, I think LEIA would be the only person that really fit. Also, Slave LEIA does a dance when you hold down the special ability button. Of course, I put the classic LEIA as the best one, mostly because of the iconic buns. Now, there's literally nothing to say. I am stretching it to the max because there was like 7 other LEIAs. So I'm going to be talking about the new Death Star set coming out in October. Now, I have no idea when this episode is coming out. Hopefully it'll be out sometime before the set release, but if not, whatever, it's out. I'm still going to be talking about it. But I just want to talk about it since this version of LEIA is included in the set, the classic LEIA. The LEIA in the Death Star set looks a lot better than what you see in the complete Saga game because the LEIA in the set has had about 10 years of improvements when the LEIA in this game is the LEIA they had for a long time. But the Death Star is $500. $500. I'd have to work like 50 hours at my job. Even more than that because of taxes. The Death Star came out in 2008 and it was only $400. The Death Stars look almost the exact same other than the updated minifigures. Long story short, I should have gotten the old Death Star when I had the chance. Captain Tarpals is basically a Jar Jar Binks that can fight. Nothing more to it. Tarpals just makes Jar Jar useless, which makes sense because Jar Jar is useless in the movies, regardless. Captain Tarpals has a light blue outfit in this game, but I find that Lego can't decide on a color for this guy. His physical figure in an actual Lego set has more purple than blue. Tarpals actually dies by the hand of Grievous in the Clone Wars. The funny thing is that Grievous, like Tarpals, is also a high jumper. Just a little bit of information for you to take home. I also want to mention that Tarpals actually has one of the best fighting animations in the entire game. It actually looks pretty cool and different from all of the generic Jedi fighting styles. The Super Battle Droid is so high up because they are a lot cooler looking than most other droids in this game. I mean, firstly, he has Super in his name, so you know that he must be a leg up from the other battle droids. Secondly, his design purposely makes him look like one of those buff guys at the gym. He's even a lot slower than most other characters, like buff guys at the gym. There you go. Thirdly, his gray color makes him look more menacing than the standard battle droid. And that's pretty much it. I like the game mechanic in LEGO Star Wars 3 that lets you pick up Super Battle Droids and use them against the enemy. Unfortunately, they don't have that in this game, but I mean, this game was the first LEGO licensed game, so I mean, of course, it makes sense that they improve with each one. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's just move on. Jeez. This droid is my favorite, only because he has a force field around him. His rolling animation is okay, but it can be hard to control sometimes. His icon in this game is so stupid though, like, you can't even tell it's him. It just looks like a bunch of lines and circles. At least in LEGO Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars, they put the entire body as the icon so it's easier to differentiate. All in all, this pretty much is the last battle droid on the list, and they're the best because they are a pain to kill in levels. Now we're on to the Blaster Luke Skywalkers. Notice how I said blaster. It's because, as we all know, Luke starts wielding a lightsaber towards the end of The Empire Strikes Back, so some Lukes have a blaster and some Lukes have a lightsaber. These next few Lukes are the blaster type. I chose Stormtrooper Luke as the worst Luke mainly because the Stormtrooper outfit lasts for one level. They somehow managed to change from their Stormtrooper suit to their regular clothes in the trash compactor in this game. It's hard to rank characters who are exactly the same other than the outfits because I really have no problem with this Luke. Luke has auto aim as well as dodge, so I'm not complaining. Plus blasters are helpful with some battles such as the boss fights with Jango and Boba Fett. Like, when you have to use a lightsaber, it makes it infinitely more challenging. But with a gun, you just shoot them and then they're down. I put this Luke above the Stormtrooper Luke because this is the Luke that force grabbed his lightsaber and defeated the Wampa. That was like one of my favorite scenes from The Empire Strikes Back. This Luke looks a lot different than the standard Hoth Rebel Trooper. I guess it would make sense because he needs to be more detailed since he's a main character. What pissed me off is that the Wampa scene isn't included in the game at all. They just gloss over the Wampa in the Tauntaun scene.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
The only thing they include that related to the Wampa is that he's an extra toggle character in one of the bonus levels. You see more of this scene in LEGO Indiana Jones than you do in this game, and I'm not even joking. Okay, if I ever make every character ranked for LEGO Indiana Jones, you guys will find out more about it, or you can Google it. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. Next up is the pilot Luke Skywalker. Like the Rebel pilot, he looks like a prison inmate with a concussion. He doesn't even look like he knows what's going on. You might think you unlock him in the Hoth levels, since he's in the battle with the pilot suit on, but nope, you unlock him in the Dagobah level. You only play him for like half the level too. It's kind of weird. Yes, he's in the pilot suit during some of the Dagobah scenes, but it's still weird to me. Oh well, this Luke is above the others because I like the orange colors. This is the last of the Blaster Luke Skywalkers. I put Tatooine Luke over the other Blaster Luke Skywalkers because, well, he's the OG Luke. This is the first time you see Luke. It's a legendary moment. Okay, I might be exaggerating, but this is like really my favorite of the Blaster Lukes. Granted, you barely play as this guy in the levels he shows up in, mostly because Ben Kenobi is also in the levels. Why would you play a character with a blaster when you can play as a Jedi? Come on now. What else to end a part to this series other than this gangster? Even though Tarkin died in A New Hope like a chump, this guy got a lot more credit in the expanded universe. I think this is the first time I'm talking about the expanded universe in this series, so in case you don't know, the expanded universe are all the books, games, and graphic novels that took place in the Star Wars universe. Basically anything that wasn't a TV show or film is in the expanded universe, and it was canon. That is until Disney bought it. Disney declared all expanded universe material non-canon, which can be good or bad. Good because it gives filmmakers of the new movies more leeway, and they don't have to worry about the inconsistencies between the expanded universe and the movie itself, but it also can be bad because things like the Old Republic didn't happen. But I personally favor Disney's choice, but some people favor the opposite. Whatever, the point is, the books about Tarkin made him out to be a badass. Tarkin in this game isn't special, but he's still cooler than Blaster Luke. And I just realized that I talked about the expanded universe more than I talked about Tarkin. Just to stress the fact that Tarkin is a cool guy. So, good, yeah, cool.